Have you ever seen a blade with grooves like this? And no, it's not a custom knife. This is the new Kansept Orion. And the grooves actually have a pretty interesting functionality in them. So let's check it out. So first off, this is a premium knife. Both titanium handle and S35VN blade are CNC machined, which looks pretty nice. But maybe I'm a bit biased, as I actually work as a production engineer and I program CNCs for a living. And I make small precision parts like these ones. So I know the work that goes in to details like this, and yeah, it feels premium and has very nice attention to detail and a pretty nice movement. But now about the blade and the grooves and how it affects the functionality, as it's kind of weird. When you slice things like paper, it doesn't really affect it and it's pretty standard. But when it comes to other things like rubber or cheese, it actually makes a difference, as the grooves help to reduce the surface tension, which allows it to slide through the cheese way easier and makes a pretty nice cut. As you can see, it's smooth and was pretty easy, but there's also a downside. As you can see, the grooves catch dirt very easily, and with the cheese it's quite visible. Let's make another cut, and yeah, it's getting sticky, so it needs quite a bit of maintenance. But yeah, the reduced surface tension does make the cut a bit easier, so it's a bit weird. But other than that, the difference is not that big, as it still slices very nicely. It's a nice blade, and even after the cheese, still slices paper very nicely. And when it comes to sharpening, it sharpens up the same as any other blade. Simply sharpen it and there's no big difference, as the grooves are on the upper part. And no, it doesn't turn into a serrated edge after a while. I've seen some comments, so let's explain. Let's actually take this and let's draw the edge like this for illustrative purposes. And let's say the grooves go this deep. So when you take off the edge while sharpening, it will simply be reduced like this, then this, then this, then this. So it will always stay like this and will not become a serrated edge. So, you know, yeah. Other than that, it does also have a deep carry clip, which can be carried only on one side. As you can see, there are no screw holes here, which is a bit of a bummer, but not that bad. So let's see how it actually looks in the pocket. Let's put it in like this. As you can see, fits very nicely, but the clip is not the strongest. As you can see, it slides fairly easily, so it could be a bit stronger, but it does hold it in place. So it's not bad, but I'd prefer it to be slightly stronger. With that said, let's give it a score. And first off, the comfort. And when it comes to that, it does feel pretty nice. Provides a pretty nice grip, although the handle could be slightly longer, but I do have XL sized hands, at least when it comes to gloves, so for me it does feel a bit too short. As you can see, my pinky is right on the edge, so yeah. But other than that, feels quite nice. The clip could be a bit stronger, but it's not bad. So I would give it 7 out of 10, which is a pretty decent result. Now, when it comes to looks, and as I already said, I might be biased, but I love the design. I really like the attention to detail, the overall look, the grooves, and pretty much everything about it. So to me, it's a 10, a pretty easy 10. But now, the practicality. And when it comes to that, considering the blade does need extra attention and maintenance to clean it, as well as it will be probably an urban knife or a display piece. I'll give it a 5 out of 10, which is not bad, as the blade still is pretty nice, but yeah, a 5 is a pretty solid number for this one. But now, the value. And it might sound controversial, but I'm giving it a solid 7 out of 10. Yeah, I do know that it's expensive, but it feels like it actually could cost way more, at least to me. As if you gave me this knife without any context, only with the details, and said it's 300 bucks, I'd believe you, as the details are pretty awesome, as well as the materials used, the titanium handle plus the S35VN blade with the machine grooves, and everything else feels very premium. So 7 out of 10 at this price range, I think it's pretty nice. So that gives us a solid result of 29 out of 40, which is pretty respectable, and it's a pretty cool knife overall. It's pretty nice, and I do like it a lot, so I'll continue carrying it. And if you want to join me, the links are in the description. And yeah, if you like the review, leave a like, subscribe, and see you next one. Bye!